Hey, come here. A little bit closer. Let's see what's in the box. Let's see what's in the box. My friends, you are looking at the Engway X24. This is the Engway X24. Now, I think instead of boring you guys to death, maybe we just, in fact, get it out of the box. And then after that, we can talk about the nerd stuff for all you nerds out there. Okay, first look at the Engway. Got some kind of a secret surprise here. Okay, all right. Okay, Engway, get out of your box, please. A little bit heavier than it looks, man. Okay. I think we should get a more creative camera angle, shall we? All right, you nerds, let's talk about the specs on the Engway X24. Start off with the powertrain. You have a 1200 watt peak hub motor down there. This bike has dual batteries, actually. It has a 19.6 amp hour battery pack in there, and it is foldable, as you guys can see there. And then it has a 10 amp hour battery pack, I would assume, in the seat shaft. So you guys can see there is definitely a battery pack in there. This came unplugged, but I'm assuming to use this secondary battery pack, you plug this in so it can link them. I think Engway says that you get 54 miles of range or so, or 60 miles of range doing pedal assist 1. So obviously when I'm maxing this thing out, we're not gonna see that much, but I would not be surprised to see at least 30 miles of range out of this thing. I think the top speed on this, they say, is 31 miles per hour. And then one thing I have never seen before, or should I say 3 things, it's a triple shock bike. The frick? I don't even know how that's possible. You got 2 motorcycle shocks here. You got another shock in the middle that connects onto there that's already suspended. And then you got freaking motorcycle forks up here. So, sheesh. I mean, overall though, really cool looking bike. And again, I've never seen 3 shocks, middle, front, and then rear. One of my favorite e-bikes of all time was the Engway that I already did a video on. Engway M20, I think it was called. But Engway bikes are becoming quickly one of my favorite, just brand of bikes, because I mean, they just have good quality and they do not charge you very much. I just think that Engway bikes are priced very fairly for the specs and everything that you get. I feel like Engway either is producing these bikes themselves so it doesn't cost much, so they don't have to charge you an arm and leg to keep profit margins, or they just don't have good profit margins, but at least us end consumers are not paying an arm and a leg for actually good specs. All right, but anyway, that is the X24 in a nutshell. Let's get this thing on the road. I already did charge it up last night, so we're on a full charge. And so let's just see how this does. This is the first bike that I have ridden with a freaking triple shock setup. This battery pack, you can actually deactivate, it looks like. You can turn it on or off if you want. This set of controls, I have never seen this design before. It's got a color screen, and it's basically just the same software as pretty much every other e-bike, so I'm not gonna go into that. I'm not gonna geek out over the screen too much right now. And it's got your 8-speed shifter here if you wanna ride it like a normal bicycle. Then you may have noticed that there was no headlight on in the shots I just got. It's because it's an automatic headlight, and I'm sure there's a menu option I could find that you could turn that off, but it is an automatic headlight, so I think that if I covered this for a little bit of time, yeah, it will turn on. If I uncover it again, after a few seconds, it'll turn itself off because it, detects the brightness for a certain amount of seconds. In this software, you hold the I button down and it turns it into your different drive modes. So normal and sport. Obviously, I'm going to keep it on sport, and then there is an eco mode if you want to use. So it's simple software, but in my opinion, that's not a bad thing. Insider tip, if you hold the plus and minus down, it goes into a menu where you guys can set up personalization, that kind of thing. Auto headlight, as I mentioned, you can turn that off here. Power set, yep. Let's see if we can turn that to 100%. There we go. Speed limit? Oh, dude, let's set that. That's the highest it goes already. All right, let's go for a ride on the X24. I'll give it a minute to get my first thoughts. All right, well, right off the bat, it's definitely quick enough. We're gonna grab a top speed in just a second. It's not super torquey, but you get going pretty well to a top speed. Besides that, definitely comfortable ride. I feel like I need to maybe dampen the suspension a little bit. Don't know exactly how to adjust it, make it a little softer on the front maybe. But it's a really smooth ride though. No real complaints just yet. And I feel like on this bike, the battery life is gonna be what really speaks the loudest. I don't know. We'll have to see. We're at 98% right now with voltage sag, which isn't bad. The motor peaks at 1200 watts, so I don't know, it might be like a 750 watt motor or something. So it's not like incredibly torquey, but it gets you up to 28 miles per hour, it says on here, decently quickly. But I mean, like overall, the ride quality though is like really nice. As far as the build of the bike goes, like it does not feel like a cheap bike, in my opinion. Brakes work really well. Stopped a little faster than I expected to. And I mean, just overall, really nice looking bike. I'm sure it comes in other colors as well, but the design is what I'm talking about. I don't mind the matte black at all. All right, let's grab a top speed really quick. Looks like we're tracking. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and turn this on to sport mode. Now that we're in sport mode, let's go ahead and test the top speed. I'm glad I caught that right now. 20, 25, 28, 29. See if we can hit the 31 mile per hour top speed that they say. There we go, 31. There we go. Let's go. Almost 32. Boom. And we'll obviously see if that's actually accurate. Survey says 32.1. So the speedometer actually is accurate as well. So that's nice. So the odometer, if there is one, will also be accurate. Yes, it does have an odometer and it is accurate. So we're right at 2 miles on this charge. Oh yeah, already a significant ride quality improvement without the front suspension locked. So far, man, really good performing bike. Not bad at all. As far as top speed and just overall ride comfort, really not bad. Let's go ahead and get this thing on a full range test really quick, and I'll bring you guys back when this thing's dead or at least pretty close to it, so you guys can see acceleration. We're at 20. Too bad, not too bad, not super torquey, but it gets you up to speed definitely quick enough. Not underpowered is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's go ahead and grab a brake test. Let's hit a brake test real quick. Oh yeah, not bad. That's from like 25 miles per hour right there. Jeez. Got some decent torque, got a good top speed. That's the Engway X24, everybody. All right, well, that's the X24, everybody, from Engway. This is their newest model, basically, I believe. And it's the first e-bike that I've ever tried that has legit 3-point suspension right here. A total of 5 shocks. That's freaking crazy. But even though it's the first one I've tried with a triple suspension, it's not like significantly better ride quality than like really good, you know, rear and front suspension bike. The Engway M20 that I just recently reviewed, which is still to this day one of my favorite e-bikes ever, was also a very smooth ride. I feel like obviously all of the weight and bumps and stuff are going mostly on these shocks, then this one kind of just is a supplemental shock, if you will. Maybe if I jumped it off like a 20-foot building or something and then on the ground, it would help, but like normal everyday riding, I didn't feel a huge difference with the triple suspension, but it's still cool. You also have a secondary seat, so you could either like low ride it, or you could also have like, I don't know, if you have little kids or something that wanted to like hitch a ride or something, or you could take it off and put groceries on there, whatever, basket, what have you. How many miles did we get on one charge? If you want to bring them over here, Young Swag, we got a whopping 34 miles on one charge. Very, very good for an e-bike. I am very impressed. I've also never seen this design where like two separate battery packs are linked by an actual cable. Really interesting, kind of strange, but really interesting. And you can actually like activate it or deactivate the secondary battery pack to your heart's content with a little button. This bike obviously also is folding, which I love about Engway bikes. It's a little heavier than most e-bikes because it has a good powertrain, but you can generally get the point. Anyway, so easy enough to fold up and collapse and everything. Good software, no complaints there. The cruise control, I couldn't figure out how to work. Normally it's like you hold it down for 5 seconds and then it just locks it. But I couldn't figure that out really on my first initial rides here. Headlight is really good. Good functioning tail light. Overall, just a really fun ride. Good top speed, really good range. And this thing, by the way, I don't think I've said it yet, but this thing is like $1,800 to $1,900 right now. And I don't know if you could get a higher quality e-bike for that price. Now I'm gonna say the M20 that I just reviewed, I love a lot. You can get the dual battery pack version, which probably would do similar specs to this one for right around like $1,600, $1,700, something like that. But this bike being brand new on the market, triple suspension and stuff, couple added components from the M20. I've been reviewing e-bikes that are like $3,000 and up, and they don't even, like, the quality of those ones is not even as good as this one. So that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else more to say, and I don't want to bore you guys and waste your time. So this is the Engway X24 e-bike. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you're in the market for an e-bike, I highly suggest Engway. They make some of the coolest bikes that I've tried, and really not bad prices for them. There you go, Inja's stamp of approval, Engway. Always good products. All that to say, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.